Hello Inkies and welcome to a Hobo with me. I decided to get straight into journaling this morning because sometimes I tend to dawdle and procrastinate if I know I want to do a talking intro. So this morning I packed all my stuff up and got myself ready and set up at my desk and just started getting myself into the zone. And sometimes I feel like that's a much better way to go about it than to sit there and procrastinate before I sit down and actually talk to you guys. So first off, I realized I hadn't printed any photos for a little while, and I had photos from the day that I wanted to actually journal. I've been trying to mentally tell myself to take more photos, which shouldn't be a problem because I'm always taking them, but lately I haven't found the want to take any photos, or I haven't really thought about taking photos, and so that is something that I need to rechange. I mean, I go through lulls where photos are like everywhere and everything, and then I go through 5 or 6 days where I've taken absolutely no photos, so I need to sort of change that. But yesterday I took quite a few, and I also started a new project, and if you're in the Facebook group you would have already seen me talk about this. I actually started a little sunburst granny square blanket. So it's not really a blanket right now. I could make coasters at this point. I've made 4, and I wanted to sort of sketch my little granny square. I thought about taking a photo. I went, no. I'd love to have a little watercolor representation of my square, my first square that I did, as a way to sort of commemorate starting a new project. Now, I've had this wall for so long now. I feel like I've had it for over a month, and I've been procrastinating, there's that word again, over actually starting because I didn't know if I'd made the right choice with my colors, and I didn't know if having a pink border around everything would suit it. And so I second guessed myself like crazy and just didn't start. And I had Sian trying to hold my hand and trying to say, you never know if you don't just start, and push, and I just didn't start. And then last night something must have, switched, clicked, and I picked up my hook and I started. So I started with a little basic sketch and had obviously the square there next to me, and I don't want it to be perfect realistic representation of my granny square. And at first I thought I was going for that, but then once I added the watercolor, I didn't feel like it needed it. And I also drew my little hook and a little thread of pink yarn, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I wasn't sure if it was going to be something beautiful or a complete disaster, and that seems to be the way everything goes when it comes to my artwork. But yeah, I grabbed out my watercolors, and I had to pull out multiple sets for this because I knew I didn't have the colors that I could have mixed to make some of these shades, or I wasn't feeling it. And I am trying to use some of my other palettes at the same time, not just my little pocket rocket. So I enjoyed trying to sort of grab the colors that I wanted. I have a piece of watercolor card off to the side to me to try and test colors before I put them down. That was the other thing. I wanted to make sure I had the right warmth to the rusty brown, and the right sort of yellowy green to the green part. So as you can see, I'm pulling the card out so I can give my in the pan, when you have half pans of watercolors, some of those greens and blues all look the same, and what you think is something is not. So I have a tester card, and that's one of my biggest sort of tips for you guys if you do have half pans and you're not quite sure. And I obviously have palette cards for these, but I didn't have them anywhere near me at the time, so I just grab a spare piece of paper and test colors out off to the side, or as you can see in my hand, to make sure that the color that I'm picking is a good representation of what I'm trying to achieve on paper.
Stay open
For that dusty pink, I'm mixing a Quinn pink and Potter's pink and sort of watering it down to try and get a good representation of the out border. It was as close as I could come, but I thought I might be asked what pink I used, and it is a mix between Potter's pink and Quinn pink, and then watered right down because that Quinn pink is quite bright, and so I only used like a dot of it, only a little bit just to tint it. Quite a few bits and pieces from my day that I'm illustrating today or putting together on my Hobonichi. I had pictures from this was too dark. I was not thinking and I didn't up all the contrast and things, and you can see what a difference just editing a few things, and I did that within the Sprocket app because I was just being too lazy to go and do it in different lighting. And I've got one of hubby. He's been homesick for the last 2 days. He went back to work today. So I am behind on filming because I feel guilty almost working when I've got him homesick. So he asked if we could, we went to his doctor's appointment because his job requires a medical certificate. And so he was starving. And so we sat down and had like brunch almost. I want to say it was morning tea because there was no real lunch food. He ordered a piece of banana bread and walnut and date, I think, and I had like a corner and my coffee, and so he really was looking very sad and sorry for himself. This is a fake smile. I can tell he was feeling so craptastic, and man flu's a serious thing, guys, like not. But I've got pictures of him, and I actually took photos of the where is it, the bread, because I'm gonna attempt badly probably to, if I turn it that way, will it make it bigger? Yeah, to print my goodness, losing the will of technology today. So there's a picture. I'm gonna attempt to paint a general kind of look of that, maybe kind of like with the granny square. I sort of indicated the look of it. I didn't want to try and do individual stitches. I just wanted the feel of the granny square. Same with my hook. I've got one of those Knit Picks. I think they're called something else now, but when I bought my hook, it was the Knit Picks brand, and it's the sort of Harmony Rainbow Wood hook, and that's what I'm using to do my square. So I just gave an indication of a multicolored wooden hook. I'm not going for absolute realism today. I'm just going for the feel of things. We also booked tickets to go and see Cirque du Soleil for our wedding anniversary in October. So I printed out the little logo that they came with the booking email, and I want to put that down there. And the cafe that we went to had this cute little corner that was a book exchange where you could leave a book and take a book, which I thought was really cute, so I took photos of that. My little Beatrix Potter brooch is, I was just showing my mum it, here it is. I bought this from a maker, and it didn't come yesterday, but I actually printed photos of it so that I could have it from my Hobo. And obviously I'm going to take that little tag as journal fodder. And then under here, I think I can, oh no, it's stuck in the bottom. I was like hoping I could take this bit out and put that in as journal fodder, but I'll leave it be. I'll just deal with the little code. I printed that out for the journal page before because it came on the Monday. So I was just doing a print of a few bits and pieces. So zines from Fran Nerd and postcards from Anai. So, not Anai, Patricia sent me this one. So I've got a whole menagerie of things on my desk, and I want to try and paint the plate of food. And I'm not very good at painting food, and every time I've tried I make such an ugly mess. So I'm gonna have to, if I make a mistake, I'm just gonna end up collaging over it and then gluing down gluing down the photograph instead, because I just have this feeling that I'm going to fail it up. And of course I can't find a pair of scissors to cut this down. I know my scissors are in my Tim Holtz ones are in my bedroom because I was cutting wool with it. because I think I don't need all this white space around this. I'm trying to contain as much, you know, use least amount of space so I can get the most amount into my little Hobo page there. And I even thought about cutting down the bookshelf so I don't have all this space here, like just cutting that down and having that down the bottom. Maybe I can do like a yeah, I'll be back. I need to find some scissors and then I'll see how we go. Okay, so I've cut this little bit down and I like that there's an eye in the logo. And what I was thinking about when I was just sort of muttering to myself and you guys before, is it'd be cool to sort of bring that eye in and create like a monster. So I sat here sort of trialing different eyes because I've used a heap of my favorites and I haven't changed the ink in my printer, so I can't print another one just yet. And I didn't want to faff about. So I found this one on one of the sheets. Now, this was a monster that I did quite a while ago for the memory monsters, and he's one of my absolute favorites. So I've cut his bottom, and it's on acetate, so I've cut his bottom face bit out, so there. And then I also cut the top as well, which creates almost like a instant monstery face. I could essentially cut down some of this because his hair is wider than the actual picture, which also works. And I like the idea of sort of turning that logo into a monster. Now, I don't know whether I would want to give him a body or anything. Part of me doesn't want to, but I might give him an arm. I just need to hold down these because I'm not committed to gluing them into this spot just yet. I just want to see, because he's got such a giant head. I'm wondering if him almost holding up that sign. Because he just sort of seems to be floating here, and I don't want him to float. And I also need to make, excuse me, room for the cake that I'm apparently going to watercolor that I'm going to regret. So maybe I had him up higher, but it covers up the granny square. So I could essentially move him over here into this little corner and have the plate of the cake here. So I could indicate the plate here. And because the banana bread is so dark and there'll be lots of brown, I think that'll get covered up in the watercolor. That Japanese down there will get covered up in the watercolor. So I feel like it'll be okay. I'm not doing the whole spread of it. I just want, like, the same as this, an indication of it and sort of moving stuff around here. And then I can put, I was going, or maybe I could make the bookcase his body. Maybe he's just so big that he's gonna cover up some of my, but he's see-through, so it's not like I'm covering it up properly. If I get sick, I swear I will kick hubby so hard if I get sick. Actually, Elijah brought it home. He started it. See, it's too hard. If I brought it up here. Or I bring it over here and do the Decisions. This is why sometimes I don't normally talk you through my process, because it takes me so long to make decisions, especially when I'm doing this on camera. I feel like I have to, I owe it to you guys to make sure that what I'm showing you is of a quality nature. But there's going to be times when I'm going to have to do these off camera, so I don't sit here for 50,000 years trying to decide what I want, what I'm going to do, and then taking 100 million years to execute it, and one page takes me eternity, and then I'm still behind 30 pages. Oh, let's see. That kind of works. That kind of works. Or I could put it over here. I've got that picture of Hubs here. I do have this little picture of my little granny square and my footses. But maybe I can cut this down. And put it down here. Right. Just leave feet's not happening today, feetses. I was going to put this because we had a hot drink, but I think that's just asking for too much effort. I do like the Monster and the Curiosities, and I do like that. And then I can put my bread in here, and then, or I can paint the bread up here in a smaller form. Or maybe my guy's too big and he takes up too much room, but I love it. So I'm having... unless... because I feel like the Z makes their nose as well, which I really like that. Put it there. And then little cheeks. I like the idea of the teeth. Oh, what did I just drop? Oh my goodness. Then we could maybe have a bendy neck, that way I'm not taking up all that room. Yeah. That's better. Even though I really like the guy with the really big head. He takes up too much real estate on the page, and I don't have the real estate to give him. I'll give him a striped neck because everything I do has striped necks. Yeah. Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. And then we can have him snaking up here. Up and around here. And then that gives me room to do the bread down here and a little bit of journaling. And I don't think I will paint the plate because I feel like that will take up too much room as well. So maybe I'm being too ambitious by trying to paint the cake too. Let me glue this down and the photos so that I know what I'm working with, and then see where I need to go, because I can put some text here as well, because something here, because this needs to be covered because I can't use it because it's in Japanese. So I would put something neutral so that it can be written over, so something like this. And then I can, if I put this down first under here, it means that this will go here. over it here. Monster. All right, slowly. This is the thought process that comes trying and getting all the things that I want, thinking about what I want to focus on during the day. Huge highlights of the day was obviously booking tickets to the Cirque du Soleil and also rekindling something for my hands to do that's not drawing. And because I used to work with wool a lot in my previous life, I know how to do it all. And I had bought all this wool from Attic 24 and gave a kit to Sian to make me a blanket for my birthday, and then I've been putting off sort of doing anything with mine. So it was finally, after I've had the wool for almost over a month now, I finally decided to just start the project. And so it was a big deal for me. It may not be for some people, but I'm trying to do other things outside of art and drawing in some of my free time so I can completely step back from it. And yep, doing this as my job is amazing and I'm blessed and I love it, but sometimes I just need to step away from it and focus on, that's why I started reading again and just sort of do a few things that were outside the realm of art. And that's why I picked up reading, and then I thought crocheting is also something that I can do on the couch with hubby and sort of zone out and do that without too much hassle. Oh, someone's in. A parcel from the stationery selection box just arrived, and my beautiful postcard from the lovely Crystal arrived. Thank you so much. One of my pet peeves with the post office lately is, I don't mind a bit of pink, but is putting pink onto the like a marker or something. I got a postcard from Anai the other day, and it was a beautiful Frida postcard. Now I got to figure out where I put it because I wanted to tape it into my journal. And they put a big pink this on her cheek. I'm like, come on, dude. Unimpressed. Anyway, I will close this so it doesn't go wild, and I'll open this now for you guys because I don't actually have a clue what's in this month's box. And sometimes I open them up on Instagram, but I haven't done that in a little while because I get a bit impatient, and lately I've been, ow, oh man, Tim Holtz scissors are not for the faint-hearted. I always have trouble. Mitz does such a fantastic job with these boxes that I have so much issue getting into them, and that's not her fault. That's just because I don't open parcels very well. So I'm gonna pause here and get the actual box. Hey, I opened it, I've pulled it out, and I will look at it with you guys first. Ooh, there's lots of fun things. Okay, first of all, there's a beautiful stamp, and it says handle with care, which I think is so cute. I love that. I love the stamps. And whenever she does stamps, she always gives us a beautiful little ink pad, and this one is crimson red. So I have lots of these little stamp pads courtesy of the stationery selection box. They're fantastic. I love them. And then these ones are little heartfelt thank you cards. And they have little cards and envelopes, and they're sort of beautiful and foiled. These, again, they come in so handy. That's just why I love these boxes, because they have little things that you don't think to buy. Oh man, this is so cute. These are Midori stickers, and they are like tea inspired, like tea party ones. Sam and Sian and I are doing a high tea for our joint birthdays. So this is perfect. It's got little tea boxes. And I went to high tea for Valentine's Day, and I haven't actually journaled that in my Hobonichi yet. Have I? I don't think so. Or maybe I have. Anyway, I'll check anyway. But if I haven't, I will love to put these onto that spread. And this is a beautiful 4 designs and 8 envelopes. So they're all color coordinated envelopes. They are stunning. Then I saw this in the sneak peek. These are the new, I think, Sarasa clips in like vintage colors. And I love this look of this caramel. Oh yeah, that'll be really nice to actually sketch in, like a caramel sepia brown. So that will be nice. That will go into my thing. And then we have Hello Flakes. And they're all like sticker flakes. Oh, they're cute too. So there are the designs there that are part of that. And then I know that this is one of those beautiful little plates that I absolutely adore. And I have my whale one here, and I have the bear one, and then there's the bird one as well, the crane. And I'm pretty sure the sneak peek was a cat, and I was so excited. I wish it was a black cat, but I know it's not. Yeah, it is. Oh, I love these. These are by Classicy, I think. Yeah, by Kata Kata and Classicy, so they're a collaboration. Oh man, I flippin' love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Mitts. You do such an amazing job at collecting and curating and putting these boxes together. And I buy mine every month myself. These are not sponsored. Mitts doesn't send them to me for free. I happily buy mine every single month and have for almost over a year now. I think I've been getting these boxes, and I have got to say that they are about 50 Australian dollars, and it's a little bit pricey, but these are types of things that I don't see in Australia very often. It's been I don't think I've seen many of the items that I get in this box at the Japanese bookstore, which is the only place I could get it from. And I love that I have a collection of things that I wouldn't normally purchase, but I've actually used quite a lot of the things, especially the postcards and the writing papers. I've written letters to the school teachers on those things. I've sent postcards out. I use them as tip-ins. I absolutely love them, and I love when she sends us stamps and stamp pads, because I don't buy these much myself either. And all the little quirky stamps, like I've got some over here. These are from Mitts as well, so I've got like a brown one and a blue one, and I've got a whole little collection of little stamps and little stamp pads that I use a lot when sending happy mail and stuff. And I love this box, and I'll be subscribed until my husband says you can stop now, but I'll have to fight him. I'll have to fight for it. But I love, love, love all of the stuff for this month's box. So that's a little sneak peek for you. Now back to the Hobonichi. Here's my card. See, look. Like, who is in charge of that? That's a human thing too. That is not no machine thing. That is someone purely being a butt face and putting SS's on my postcard. I mean, I might even have to just collage a little pink cheek pop on there so it doesn't look so silly. So they've done the same thing with Crystal's card as well on the bottom. Maybe I could, I don't know, but I love it, Crystal. It's beautiful, and this actually reminds me of me with the pink hair and the glasses. So I love my postcards, and they will be tipped into this book. Now I've just messed all this up. I've got Elijah's vaccination forms from high school. Put those in there, and now I will begin putting together my bits and pieces. So we just did the hair, didn't we? We didn't do the actual head. See, this is what happens when I don't glue things down and I think I know what I'm doing. So that paper. So I've got my picture ready to go, and I've sort of sketched it out because I lost battery power, recharged, and I've glued all my bits and pieces down so I know that I've got all my hard items all ready to go. And I've just got to sort of hope that I can pull off this bread picture. I mean, I just need to give the illusion of bread. I don't want to have the most, I don't know, bread-like bread. Oh, I sound crazy. So I'm just sort of gonna go with the flow and hope that I've got a little bit of an idea about what the heck I am doing, and sort of try my best to see how I go. So I will get painting and leave you in speed mode. The time has come to try and tackle this banana bread painting, and I am quite happy with the result. It doesn't quite look as 3D as I'd like to. I should probably sit down and listen to my husband explain 3D shapes to my son. They're doing geometric shapes at the moment for their catch-up homework. John's been tutoring the kids every night with maths and science stuff while I tackle English and all that sort of stuff, the creative side of things. And the last few nights I've been working on 3D shapes and geometric shapes and what you see on what angle and stuff. And I'm normally cooking dinner at this time, but I really should probably sit down with them and try and listen and take in what he's telling them, because I think it would make a huge difference to my drawing. I seem to have a really hard time seeing things in their 3D form and from what angle and stuff like that. And I know it would help my drawing skills and my sort of urban sketching or my watercoloring if I'm trying to get like a likeness to an item. So I may have to, sit down and crash a few of these homework sessions and just listen and take a couple of notes and maybe try and work at the same pace. I don't want Elijah to think that I don't know that information because I'm his mum, but at the same time I want him to know that it's okay not to get it straight away, because I obviously don't get it, and I did it in high school and I probably didn't get it then either, but it wasn't something that I needed to sort of continue on, or I didn't think at the time. And now I wish I had that skill set behind me, or I wish I had it in my arsenal. I get the general gist of it, but there are some times when I will have to bring John in to help me with something because I can't, my head, my brain, I don't know what it is, it just can't seem to cope with seeing things as a 3D object. I don't know. I don't know. I did try my very best, and as you can see my phone down in the bottom of the screen, I am looking at the photograph that I actually took of the banana bread, and I'm just trying to get my colors sort of semi-matching what I am seeing, and it's really hard because I'm trying to get the right warmth to some of the colors, a little bit of brown, a little bit of red. I'm trying really hard to match those colors as best I can, because I feel like the colors are a huge part of the actual bread itself, and to help it sort of look a bit more lifelike. I don't know if I did a very good job, but I do like how it looks, so I guess there's something there. I must be doing something right if I'm enjoying how it actually looks finished. But I like I say I should say at the end of the video, it's all about practice. It's all about trying to get better, and the only way to do this is by doing. And you have to do these things, these crappy hard things, to learn. And at the time I don't really do food drawings, and I remember Mitz saying the same thing in one of her videos, and I totally agree. I feel like we had zucchini slice for dinner. I should probably sit down tomorrow and try and sketch out a slice of my zucchini slice. And I think it'd be a great little way if I daily painted at least one item of food, because obviously we have different meals throughout the day, and I think it'd be a great way to help your practice if you did it daily. And obviously it's part of your day, so it's something you could record. I mean, yes, I normally take photos of things, but I think there's got to come a time when I have to stop being a little bit lazy and start getting those paints out and really putting in the effort to try and draw an item on food, because I know it's a weakness. Now I am using, I think, Quin Coral on the neck of this creature, and I cover it up because I absolutely hate how it looked. It just didn't match, so I ended up taking a black Tombow marker to that and totally covering it up. But I'm really enjoying the sort of quirky nature of morphing the Cirque du Soleil logo for the show we're going to see and turning into a monster. I just had a lot of fun with this page, and I still think it feels like me, but it also is just, I don't know, a good representation of a really good day that I enjoyed.
You know there's more than I can bear. You're always telling me the truth. That's why I lean on you. Just like you know that I always do. Oh, listen now, I'll ever make it. So help me pull through. Whenever I've bitten off more than I can chew, that's when I lean on you. You bring me home when I'm distracted. Yeah. You put me where I need to be. An opportunity on which I never would have acted. I need your eyes when I can't see. Oh, you're always telling me the truth. That's why I lean on you. Just like you know that I always do. Oh, listen now, I'll never make it, so help me pull through. Whenever I've bitten off more than I can chew, that's when I lean on you. Sometimes my mind is aching, my hands are always shaking. I need your strength to see things through. And when I see no reason, at times my mind is set on things that make no sense and just ain't true. Whenever I'm lost, I want you close. I need to lean on you. Just like you know that I always do. Oh, listen now, I'll never make it. You know that it's true, so I'll lean on you. Just like you know that I always do. Oh, listen now, I'll never make it, so help me pull through. Whenever I've bitten off more than I can chew, that's when
I grabbed some of these really beautiful rub-ons from Dimmicks in the city a couple of days ago when I went on my solo date to the city, and this is the first time I've had a chance to use them. I wish I'd kept the box, or I do have the box somewhere, so I can't even tell you where they're from or who they're from, but they are so cute and I can't wait to use these throughout my journals. So I just grabbed a few of them. I love rub-ons. I think they're fantastic and they're so great to add little bits and pieces. I had a little bit of trouble getting it onto this sprocket print. I think it's because of the glossy nature. It didn't have a lot to grab to, but with a little bit more pressure and using my bone folder, it finally adhered. But yeah, I loved these little quirky creatures and they just made me smile, and they were relatively cheap as well, and you got quite a lot of pages in the little box. If I find the box, I'll pop it up there, but honestly, I know I took them out of the box and then put the box in one of those safe places, or maybe I even threw it out. I don't know, but if I can try and work out who it is, I'll put it down below, but please don't shoot me if I can't find the actual name. I'll try my best though.
Mistakes, real love, we thought, but it was always on fire. Our house, our dream. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed. I never felt like this before. When I was trapped, you showed an open door. I had no reason to complain. I didn't have the words to we were dancing on wire. Yeah, we were dancing on wire.
Just adding my journaling there. I had a little bit of trouble using my Totoro pen over the coloured pencil because it's got a waxy feel. So I came in with like an all-rounder black Unipin fake waterproof pen. It says waterproof on it, but it ain't. I don't know if it's because of the glossy paper and of the Tomaway River, but I've waited ages for this pen to dry and then it still bled all over my watercolour. So I do not recommend this product. Alright, I am done and dusted. I've even got my journaling in. I'm feeling good. It's always nice to get an actual page done in my journal, especially with Hobo. I'm gonna have to do a couple of quick pages or catch up pages each night or something with all the bare ones at the back, because it's just, it makes me a little bit crazy, but I really love how this turned out. I really I'm not sure about my banana bread, but it's good enough. I just need to do a lot more practice, and practice is something that we just need to do in order to get better. And I don't paint food very often, and so I need to get more skilled in that. So maybe I'll try and paint some of my food and stuff in the coming pages or previous pages. We'll see. I really like my little granny square. It's going pretty well. I've only made 2 so far because I had to sort of teach myself sort of not to crochet, but there were a couple of stitches in there that I wasn't sure how to do, so I had to watch the video and learn. So I've got these 2 so far, and I think they're going to look really cute. I've got this set on my table now because I'm going to make another one, and so these will be the 3 colors of the square, and then this is always the border color, because I want the majority of the blanket to obviously be pink, and I kind of like this little vintage one. You can tell that was my first one and that was my second one, getting more neater and sort of a little bit more confident, but I think once they're all sewn together they'll be fine and you won't notice it. And my little hook, which I have here, is my little rainbow wooden one. Be a bit hard to see, but I am going to buy a rubber gripped one on the weekend when we go to Spotlight and get Boo her own little hook and some sort of acrylic yarn for her to play with. Because I've only got sort of, this is acrylic, but all my other stuff is all merino or stuff I've hand dyed. I think I've got, hold on, let me grab it quickly. My little project bag from when I was knitting something, the little scrap blanket. So I have like things in here of scraps that I've hand dyed. I actually hand dyed this for Boo's first little cardigan that I made her, and this was her pants, this was her cardigan. So I started knitting a square blanket, and I'll probably keep going. The only problem is when I was, because I'm left-handed, when I was stitching them, the way that I was joining them, it has like an obscure indentation because I'm a lefty and I picked my stitches up the wrong way. So I think I'll just make that a feature. But then Lily's obviously gotten to this one and sort of cut the ball of wool off. So we'll see if I'll continue that one. But that one's like a scrappy sock square. So it takes a lot longer to do it this way than to do crochets. But I will keep that in there to sort of do that. But a lot of my wool is not machine washable, so I will get her some cheap little bright colors to practice with and a couple of bigger hooks, so she's got something big to work with first, because I think at the moment she's using a 6, the one that I learnt to crochet on. But yeah, so that is my Hobonichi page for today. I'll keep you updated on my little blanket that could. We'll see how we go. gonna do a little bit now before I pick up the kids, and probably get some reading done because I am behind on the book club book. So I've got quite a lot of stuff to do and edit this as well. But I really like how this looks. So nice little way to spend the afternoon, watercoloring and drawing and crocheting and reading. I am a 90-year-old woman and I'm okay with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I'll see you again soon. Bye!